Also, which is Simmers here. With the Thursday Murder Club, out today, I just since one of its stars is Bond himself, Pierce Brosnan. I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Pierce Brosnan movies because obviously he's always done some really great roles. Whether it's like James Bond, whether it's Mamma Mia, or the guy's always amazing. So here is my official top 10. Number 10 is The Matador. The Matador is about burnout hitman who meets a struggling businessman named Danny Wright in Mexico at a bar, and they form an unlikely friendship as Julian's erratic behavior threatens his career. Of course, this is a dark comedy that stars Pierce Brosnan, Adam Scott, Greg Kinnear, directed by Richard Shepard. It is a really decent, fun little like dark comedy worth giving a go. The chemistry between both Pierce Brosnan and Greg Kinnear is really good. It is a really decent little film worth giving a go. Alright. Number 9 is After the Sunset. Now, After the Sunset was directed by Brett Ratner, starring Pierce Brosnan, Woody Harrelson. You also have Don Cheadle, Salma Hayek, many other great ones. It's of course a heist movie about a master thief named Max Burnett who retires to a tropical island with his partner after find a heist. And FBI agent Sam Lloyd has been chasing Max for years, and he arrives to catch him stealing the diamond. It's a really decent little heist film worth giving a go. Love the chemistry between Brosnan and Hayek. Of course, Woody Harrelson is great. Don Cheadle's really good. Has some nice romance to it. Definitely has a little bit of a romance in the Stone feels as well. It is a really decent film worth giving a go. Alright. Number 8 is one of his Bond movies, and that is The World Is Not Enough. Now, in The World Is Not Enough is directed by Michael Apted, of course starring Pierce Brosnan, Sophie Marquillo as the Bond girl, Denise Richards, Robbie Coltrane, Judi Dench. And it's of course where James Bond protects Electra King, played by Sophia Murico, who's the daughter of a tycoon after her father's takedown. And of course he plans to and the culprit terrorist named Renard plans to sabotage an oil pipeline. It's not the best out of the Bond movies, but it's definitely pretty fun. Denise Richards I thought was really good. Definitely has some fun action to it. It is a really decent Bond film worth giving a go. Of course, it was the third Pierce Brosnan's third Bond outing at the time. Number 7 is Dante's Peak. Now, remember, this one actually also came out the same year as Volcano. I was a little young at the time, obviously, to really know about that. But I remember reading upon that, Dante's Peak and Volcano came out the same year. I'm like, that's interesting. But Dante's Peak is obviously the better one out of the... I like Volcano too, but Dante's Peak is great. Of course, this is about a volcanologist named Harry Dalton, who arrives in the quiet town of Dante's Peak to investigate, activity. And of course, Harry and Rachel work to evacuate the town. It is a really decent, decent film worth checking out. Of course, directed by Roger Donaldson. Linda Hamilton was great in this. Pierce Brosnan. It is a lot of fun. A really great 90s disaster movie worth giving a go. It is entertaining throughout. It is a really good one. And comment below, which one do you think is better, Dante's Peak or Volcano? All right, number 6 is the Lawnmower Man. Now, of course, this is the horror sci-fi film that starred Jeff Fahey, directed by Brett Leonard. Of course, this film is about Dr. Lawrence Angelo, who experiments with virtual reality and drugs enhance human intelligence. And The Lawnmower Man is a lot of fun. It's definitely a really nice 90s B-movie type horror film. Jeff Fahey's really good. They also did a couple of sequels, which isn't so great. But of course, here you got you got Pierce Brosnan who plays Dr. Lawrence Angelo, who is a scientist obsessed with enhancing human condition, and it's a really decent horror like sci-fi film worth giving a go. They should actually reboot this. Like I know people will poo-poo on remakes, whatever. I think a new take of the Lawnmower Man will be pretty cool. But anyway, all right. Number five, I'm going with Mamma Mia. Now, of course, Mamma Mia stars Meryl Streep, Amanda Seyfried, Pierce Brosnan. Here, of course, you got Pierce Brosnan, who plays Sam Carmichael, who is one of Sophie's potential fathers. And I really quite liked his music number with Meryl Streep. His little music number he did with Meryl Streep is pretty fun. Uh, of course, obviously, this is based on a very popular Broadway musical based on songs by ABBA. It is a really decent one. Great music. Of course, like Amanda Seyfried's great, Meryl Streep, Stellan Skarsgård, Colin Firth. Now, of course, Mamma Mia the sequel is actually pretty decent too, but I actually still prefer the first film. To be honest, yeah. But yeah, Mamma Mia is a really great one, and Pierce Brosnan. He's not really much of a great singer, but he actually did his like little music number pretty well. All right, number four is the Thomas Crown Affair. Now, of course, this is a remake of the Steve McQueen film. This is directed by Die Hard director John McTiernan, starring Pierce Brosnan, Rene Russo, Dennis Leary, and of course, if you guys don't know much about this story, it is about Thomas Crown, who's a wealthy playboy and art enthusiast, um, who orchestrates a daring art heist in New York museum, and insurance investigator Catherine Banning, played by Rene Russo, pursues him, and obviously they are doing a new version of Michael B. Jordan, starring and directing. But the Thomas Crown Affair one with Pierce Brosnan, now like the Steve McQueen Faye Dunaway one is pretty good. Actually do prefer the Pierce Brosnan version. It's a really decent heist movie, worth giving a go. It is a lot of fun. Great chemistry with Russo and Brosnan. It is a really decent film, worth giving a go. Alright. Coming in at number three is Tomorrow Never Dies. Now, of course, this is the second Bond movie that Pierce Brosnan starred in. Of course, you had like Jonathan Price was in this. Of course, you had Michelle Yeoh, Terry Hatcher, Judi Dench, and of course, it's where like James Bond, and of course, it is where like James Bond, who investigates Mia Mogul, Elliot Carver, who has stolen GPS encoder to manipulate global events here, and it's a really decent Bond movie, worth giving a go. Of course, the action's still pretty decent. Michelle Yeoh's great. Judi Dench is terrific. It is a really decent installment. All right. Coming in at number two is Mrs. Doubtfire. Now, of course, Mrs. Doubtfire does star the late great Robert Williams. Of course, as a loving, immature father who transforms into a nanny to save his children. And here, of course, he portrays a successful bit. Pierce Brosnan plays this successful businessman, Stuart Stu Dunmeyer, who is, of course, dating his ex, Robin Williams' ex-wife, played by Sally Field. And Pierce Brosnan definitely plays like the businessman swap perfectly here. I thought Pierce Brosnan did a great job. Like everyone, obviously, always talks about Robin Williams, who he is great here, but Pierce Brosnan definitely steals some moments too. His like scenes with Robin Williams is great. I mean, Mr. Starfire is a nice classic and a really good one. And my number one favorite film of his Bond debut, and that is GoldenEye. Obviously, whenever you think of James Bond, you always think of Sean Connery, Daniel Craig, but Pierce Brosnan is definitely up there. Of course, GoldenEye was his debut as James Bond. And here, of course, he plays Agent 007, and where like he is tasked with stopping a Russian crime syndicate from using like a stolen GoldenEye satellite. And you had some really great cast members like Sean Bean, Farmek Jensen, Judi Dench, Robbie Coltrane, Alan Cumming, directed by Mark Campbell. It is such a really fun one, worth giving a go. It is entertaining. Uh, Pierce Brosnan really embodies Bond perfectly. He definitely has that like a Sean Connery aspect to him, and I thought he was really a really great Bond. And obviously, his last portrayal of Bond was Die Another Day, which is actually more of a guilty pleasure of mine, but that's not on my list to be honest. Yeah. Now, of course, you guys also might remember now, of course, you guys might remember GoldenEye mostly because there was a video game of it as well. I wonder how many people forget. I wonder how many people remember there was a Bond video game. But anyway, or a GoldenEye video game. Anyway, that's pretty much it there. Here is my quick rundown. Number 10, The Matador. 9, After the Sunset. 8, The World Is Not Enough. 7, Dante's Peak. 6, The Lawnmower Man. 5, Mamma Mia. 4, Thomas Crown Affair. 3, Tomorrow Never Dies. 2, Mrs. Doubtfire. And number 1 is GoldenEye. Now, there's also other ones I could have added too. Let's see. Mr. Johnson. Love Affair. Of course, his little cameo in Mars Attacks is a good one. Gray Arrow, out. Laws of Attraction. The Greatest. Percy Jackson. I forgot he was in that. Remember Me. I don't know how she does it. The World's End. He's pretty good in. He's done some not so good stuff like The November Man. IT. The Foreigner I probably could have added. That was actually not so bad. The one that he did with Jackie Chan. The Misfits. Sadly, his like career lately hasn't really put out anything great lately. But yeah, of course, he did Fast Charlie's, Black Adam, Supreme Force that he did with Liam Neeson. I mean, he's done some really good stuff, and he's done some not so good films either. So yeah, but let me let you guys. Oh, yeah, he was just in Black Bag. I totally forgot he was in that. Black Bag was also pretty good, if you guys haven't seen that. That would definitely be my honorable mention, actually. Let me let you guys. What are some of your favorite Pierce Brosnan movies? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Simon signing.